Okay, so welcome Neil to Talks on Walks. This week we're sort of just going to go over just talking about some values and culture, and really that's around sort of tools that insurers could use. And it's great to sort of hear some of your opinions on some of our questions and how you maybe use that within your own company, which is very closely related to the insurance sector.
Mhm.
So my first sort of question for you is, what would you say your company values are? And can you tell me which, with sort of each one, what it means to you?
Thanks, George. So we've got 4 values. We've got they're basically team, care, growth, and humility. What they mean to me, team basically means the working together for the greater good, where ego's left behind at the door,
Mhm.
and the team are ready to step in and help with whatever is needed, and particularly when a team member is in need. I love to see. I'd love to see that on show where without being directed, the team are coming together and working for the greater good. So that's what the team means to me. With care, care means it's sort of related to team almost. It means helping others before ourselves. That sort of stretches outside of team when it comes to looking after the client. So care means doing the right thing, and always going the extra mile. So if you've got a easy way and the right way, it means taking the right way. So when you ally that with team, basically you're getting a person that's really helpful and trying to go the extra mile. With growth is, it's got different meanings really. So we've got the standard growth. We're looking for team members to be looking to grow their skills. Like we're a service company, so we're a lot of this, what we do is skills based. So we're looking for people who want to grow their skills, but also a lot of our focus is on personal growth. So the personal growth can just mean watching team members change as a person, take on more responsibilities, becoming a leader within the business, and that's where I get a lot of pleasure actually seeing that as the team members grow. And our last one is humility. Sort of a bit like it's also about ego, having a lack of excessive ego, I'd say, and caring more for the team than the individual status. So we're looking for people who, it's not all about them, it's all about the team, and that's what will make us a better team basically. And there's also a flip side to that. You can have too much humility where you basically take too much on, so it's a bit of a balance, that one. But yeah, there are our values.
Sure. And so you sort of listed those there, but why did you decide to focus on those as the company's sort of core values? What made you choose those really?
We didn't choose them actually. It was they were chosen probably, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know now. It was a long time ago. And James and I sat down and we identified who our core team members were, the ones that were showing the most the most ability, and the sort of values that were meant that they were good team members. So we jotted down all the values. In fact, we had this pack of cards that had values written on it, and because actually it's quite hard to think of these things sometimes. So we were going through the card and finding these values, and I think we had 3 or 4 team members up on the board, and we were writing those values under their names. And what we did was, at the end, after we'd listed all of the values that they showed, we then looked for the most common ones across all 4 people, or 3 or 4 people, and they became our core values.
Sure. And so you sort of mentioned that it was sort of 5 to 6 years ago, maybe, that you sort of brought those all together.
Mhm.
Was that, would you say, when that sort of became the strategic part of your business, sort of 5, 6 years ago, when you sort of added those in, those values together, and then
Ab-
started sort of implementing that across the whole sort of business, not just internally?
Absolutely, it was. We started we started on another journey that the values were wrapped around. It was a um a way that we set up our business. We've based it on the EOS framework. It's a business framework, basically. There's a couple of books that we read. One's called Get a Grip and one's called Traction. And in that, it takes you through the values process and why it's important to focus on values. And we'd done it before that, where we did it a couple of times, I think, over the years previously, where we James and I focused. We developed some aspirational values. Basically, this is where we want to be, and we did the usual thing, which a lot of companies do. You put some posters up on the wall. I can't even remember what the values were back then, and that was the problem. We stuck some values up on the wall. No one could really remember them. It was all surface values. It didn't really mean anything, and we didn't refer back to them. And like I said, we couldn't even remember them. It became a bit of a running joke. Then we started implementing the EOS operating framework. Basically, it's how you set up your business plan over 10 years, and it goes from a 10-year plan all the way down to weekly meetings that help you get to that goal. So yeah, part of that was a big part of that is the values, and that's when we brought that into the business and started really living and breathing those values, and that's where things started to change in the business.